Ruined it. Was muted. There's no sound mark. Sorry. If there's one stream this could happen on, it's this one. Anyway, welcome to the show. Great to be back doing a late night stream. And lots of these to come over the next couple of weeks because we're into the knockouts. So we're back doing regular late night ones. We've got Portugal, Colombia tomorrow night. So a weekend of late World Cups, a World Cup community here, the biggest and the best. Get involved. And big game tonight. Uruguay, Spain. There's the group. That's how it looks. None of this pick your reserve shit that we saw from Norway. We're not having any of that. It's Mr. Two says he was making some great points. I can lip read. Yeah, and effectively, if Spain win, Uruguay are out. If Uruguay win, they go above Spain and put them into second place, which has connotations on the group. If Uruguay draw and Cape Verde win, Uruguay would be in third place and might go through as a third place team. So the connotations are big. Probably this is the first time I think we've had a group where we are keeping an eye on the other game and the top two don't get away with picking their reserves. So I think if you are not staying up for this one, fine. But I think this game, in the context of the World Cup, is pretty big. So it's a proper World Cup tie, yes. I think Spain will win. I think they'll be too good for Uruguay from what I've seen. But, you know, Spain did draw with Cape Verde. They had a very good result against Saudi Arabia. And, you know, this is a big test for them tonight. So let's see how they get on with it. I don't know. I mean, look, Saudi Arabia could beat Cape Verde and put themselves into second place if Uruguay draw. So, as I said, it's interesting. But we're in Mexico here. Mexico, Estadio, what's it called? Estadio Guadalajara. 50,000 capacity. Obviously, Uruguay, very close to Mexico, South America. And Spain, without, I don't want to sound like I know what I'm on about, but Spain have good connections with South America. Is it Spain and Brazil, or is it Spain and Argentina and Brazil and Portugal? There seems to be some connections there, which I've mentioned before. So, yeah. Somebody just said good morning. Mate, I'm feeling great. I'm actually buzzing about this tonight. I loved the first week of the World Cup where we were doing 2 a.m. kickoffs, and there's a few to come over the next few days as well. So we've got, I was looking at this before. Please do, thanks for the follow, Tinia. We are live on TikTok as well, and Killian. B Real says this is a proper match. Please do subscribe if you're watching on YouTube as well. We've probably got people watching, you know, who don't normally get to watch live because of the time that we are doing this. But yeah, just to let you know, if you like the early morning games, I'm not doing New Zealand, Belgium at 4 a.m. Yeah, I draw the line at the 4 a.m.s. But tomorrow, Colombia, Portugal. That's for who's going to be top of that group. That's at midnight, so we'll be live for that. There is no early morning games on Sunday because there's only one game, and that's South Africa against Canada. But on Monday, we are live at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. on Monday. Netherlands, Morocco. And I mean 2 a.m. Tuesday morning. Monday night into Tuesday morning, 2 a.m. Netherlands, Morocco. And then early hours of Wednesday morning, it's Mexico. We don't know who they're playing yet at 2 a.m. And then early hours of Thursday morning, it's United States at 1 a.m. And then on early hours of Friday morning, there's a midnight game and there's a 4 a.m. game. And then early hours of Saturday morning, there's a 2:30 a.m. game. So we're at it, basically. We are at it big time. For the next week, we've got a lot of early morning kickoffs. So, you know, be part of it, get involved. What's happened with your camera? I had a setting on it that was completely wrong for the last 4 months, and I actually had the time to look at the settings today, so I changed it. Yeah. It's going to be Goldbridge sponsored by coffee. We did actually, no word of a lie, we did get, I don't mind staying up late tonight because it's Saturday tomorrow, so I'm just moved the United Stand back to 11 a.m, which you can do on the weekend. It's got to be 10 a.m. on a weekday, but 11 a.m. on a weekend's fine. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, we did actually get approached by. It wasn't one coffee brand. It was something to do. I don't know what it was. It might still happen. So I've got to be. They basically approached us and said it was like the World Cup of coffee, and it was this American. We've kicked off in advertising. There is a lot of agencies. So if you're, and also a lot of brands are owned by a bigger brand. So for example, Coca-Cola they don't just own Coca-Cola, they'll own other stuff. Like Mars owns things like pet food and stuff like that. So they will go to an agency. Atlas Coffee, I presume, says Ala. Is that the one that Romano did? Yeah, so whoever it was, they approached us through an agency in New York saying, we'd love to do a link up with you because you're doing these late night streams, World Cup of Coffees. And I said, that sounds great, but you need to speak to Gary. No, I didn't. I said, that sounds great because we are doing a lot of mornings, but I don't know whether anything's going to happen with it. Spain nearly in straight away here. Uruguay a bit on the ropes. Can they do it? Oh, deflects off the Uruguayan defender and goes for a corner from Ayazabal. That was nearly the dream start for Spain and the nightmare start for Uruguay. We haven't gone through the teams, have we? Because I've been showing the table, which is probably going to be the most important thing. We will keep you up to date with what's going on in the Uruguay game as well. I'm genuinely excited about this game. So let down by Norway-France, but genuinely excited about this game. So, there's your lineups going through on the screen. We've got an early corner here for Spain. Spain are lining up with Simon in goal. Lorente, keeper's quartet. Kabasi, Laporte, Cucurella. Moreno, Rodri, Pedri. Yamal, Ayazabal, Baena. So pretty much their best team. And Uruguay lining up with Muslera, Varela, Cáceres, Oliveira, Sanabria. Ugarte, Bentancur and Valverde. And then Araujo, Canobia and Darwin Núñez is playing up front for them. So, yeah, be interested. I'll tell you what, I have seen a bit of Uruguay. I'm actually quite excited to see Colombia tomorrow because I haven't watched them at all. Araujo plays for Sporting. I think United have been linked to him, the number 20 for Uruguay. But yeah, we've been linked to everybody. Canobia plays for Fluminense. I'm just going through some of the Uruguay players you might not have heard of. Obviously, Bentancur, Valverde, and Ugarte, you know. Darwin Núñez, you'll know as well. Sanabria. It's all Spain at the moment. This might be a bit of a mismatch. They've got to be careful here. Funnily enough, Varela, the fullback, was at Man United between 2013 and 2017. He now plays for Flamengo, and he's 33. Time flies. It really does. Oliveira, the centre-back, plays for Lazio. I'm just having a look at sorry, I've just gone completely mind blank now. I was thinking about doing something and then it didn't. Choco says it's 1 a.m. here in Brighton. Yeah, let us know what time it is if you live in a different city in the UK. Someone's going to do that now. Sarcasm probably doesn't work at 1 o'clock in the morning. Jonathan says, why isn't he streaming the bigger game, Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia? I'm just happy that the temperature has dropped in the UK by about 10 degrees, which is great because yes, last night's watch-along was huge. Apparently, Argentina are resting their entire squad. Are they playing tomorrow? Yeah, well, I'm not doing that game anyway. That's it. I'm doing England at 10, Portugal, Colombia at midnight, and then it's Argentina at 3 a.m. But I'm not doing it because I thought they'd do that. I don't I think one thing I have learned, and to be fair, you don't learn it because you have to wait for the World Cup for it to happen. But one thing I have learned is you can't look at the third group game fixtures and go, that's going to be a great game, because you just don't know. I really thought, I mean, I don't want to keep going on about Norway against France, but I really did think that game was going to be good, and I was let down. But this will be good because it's got jeopardy, and Portugal, Colombia will be good because it's got jeopardy. But Argentina, as much as I like watching Argentina, they're going to make changes in that game because they're already qualified. I understand that. I understand why USA did it as well. I can't believe I didn't figure out this camera setting. It looks so much better. 4 months. 4 months. I'm well happy about that. I'm happy the temperature's gone down. I'm happy I figured out my camera, and I'm happy that we're watching a really good game. And I love doing the early hours games if I'm not tired, and I'm not tired tonight, so. But I think it'll be a hard week, because I think what was the game where I'd done the Argentina game? If Messi hadn't scored a hat-trick, I'd have fell asleep in that one. It's when you do 4 or 5 in a row. Thank you, Daniel. Do 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 do. Has anyone had any thunder? No. Didn't come last night. Haven't got any tonight. Can I just say thank you to Iqbal Ali and Dan Smith for giving us a follow on TikTok. Daniel Ben is a Birmingham City fan. We won't hold it against you. Anybody's welcome here. I keep getting asked this. Sheist says, any comments on South Africa? Lots of people keep asking me about South Africa. We have a lot of Man United fans in South Africa who watch the United stand. And I don't really dislike any country in this tournament. In fact, I don't. You know, I wanted Scotland to go through. You're out. But I'm really happy for South Africa because I thought they didn't look very good in the first game. So to get through and have a chance to go to the last 16 against Canada, I actually think that's going to be a good. You know what? I think Canada South Africa on Sunday at 8 o'clock might be a game that some people think's a bit shit. I think it's going to be a great game. T Potion says, what about Norway? Yeah, I do like Norway. I just don't like what they did today. And because Ahmad plays for the Ivory Coast, I think I want them to win. And because Norway played their reserves and ruined the Friday night game. Jack, lads, second place in this group play Argentina in the round of 32. So personally hoping Uruguay win so we get a big dog out in the round. Yes, Jack, with the super chat on YouTube, you are a legend, mate. Absolutely true. The second place team in this group plays Argentina. So if Uruguay were to beat Spain, they'd push Spain to second and they'd have to play Argentina, which would be incredible. But look, Spain have started off the better side here, no doubt about it. I thought Morocco moved ball quickest so far, only saw them once though. Yeah, who do you think have been the standout teams in this knockout stage? I haven't seen Colombia. Has anybody watched Colombia? What are they good? Like, where would you put Colombia comparable to like USA, Ivory Coast, Japan, Morocco? Are they up there with them, or are they more of Ecuador? I'm really looking forward to watching Colombia tomorrow. It's the only. I think they're the only decent. I think they're the only team I haven't watched. Apart from Turkey, I never watched the Turkey game because their kickoff times were shit. Getting mixed reviews on Colombia now. They're an Ecuador-type team. Well, look, we'll see how they do against Portugal tomorrow. I mean, I think Portugal have got to turn up at some point. But Jack, very good comment. Second place plays Argentina. Uruguay-Argentina would be a cracker because Bielsa is actually Argentinian. That would be tasty. When South American teams play each other, they are tasty games. We don't see it enough. When was the last time Brazil played Argentina in a World Cup? Because I know they did it in Italia 90, but I can't remember. The last, it must be more recent than that. Colombia's a bit like Norway, says Mo. There's a quiz question for you. Have Brazil played Argentina more recently than Italia 90? Because when two South American teams play each other, it's going off like a bottle of pop that you've shaken up. Leo says Colombia are more of an Ecuador team. Japan I would put top of the block 2 teams. Yeah, and they're going out, aren't they? It's so sad. Well, they're not out yet, but it's so sad that we're going to lose Japan or Brazil in the round of 32. It's just the way the draw's gone, but I think it's a shame. Sometimes you don't go as far as you deserve to go because the draw isn't kind. It's a bit like Real Madrid having to play PSG in the round before the quarterfinals, but Arsenal get Porto. The draw's not been kind there, but look, I think it'll be a good game. Something about this Spain team that just doesn't feel like a traditional World Cup Spain team. Can't put my finger on it, says Dan. For me, it's not the team of the Euros, is it? Morata, Williams and Yamal. Williams doesn't get picked. Yamal's been injured and Morata's not there anymore. Shawnu says, I've been a follower for years of this and the United Stand and can finally afford regular super chats. I'm your new resident Crystal Palace fan. Yes, for United Stand. Love the channels. Both channels really help. Lovely message there, Shawnu, at 1:15 in the morning. Thank you very much. TK Moon says, you look even more handsome today. Any changes? Well, I found a setting on my camera that I hadn't turned on when I bought it. So it's basically a button that makes ugly people look a little bit better. So I've turned that on. Mike Royce says, have you seen Garnacho's new hairstyle? I don't really like taking the piss out of people for their hairstyle because I think it's, in today's age, you can't take the piss out of anybody for anybody, can you? But I do think he looks a prat. Eraserhead, thank you very much for your super chat. Have you had your coffee? Yes, I was doing. It's a bit of a weird thing actually, because it's very. I don't mind doing it on a Monday, Tuesday, whatever, but on a Friday night. Obviously, watch France Norway. Finished at 10 o'clock, and then normally you get. Oh, go on. Oh, I think it was an offside anyway. Yeah, normally. In the World Cup, a game finishes and then you have an hour gap. So 3 hours gap. So I was actually doing, trying to fill the time. So I definitely had my coffee, yeah. I was finishing watching Clarkson's Farm. Mina and Mike, thanks for the follow. Said it so many times, but what a stadium. Going to miss these venues when we're done. Yeah, this is, obviously it's not the Azteca, but it's another Mexico stadium. And yeah, I think the contrast of stadiums has been great. I haven't seen that many games in Mexico, but I don't think there are that many, to be fair. Come on, Agate, play well so we can sell you, please, says Just Pasty. Colombia is way more aggressive and possessive than Japan or Ecuador. Well, I'm looking forward to watching them tomorrow, Juan. Just realised no Chile. What happened there? Says Joe. I think it swings and roundabouts with South American football, isn't it? Ecuador are very good at the moment. Chile aren't so good. But I think the so-called lesser teams are getting better. I think we're getting better squads now. You look at Japan. Kubo's been injured, Minamina, Endo, Matoma. And they still have a very good squad. Mike says, what underdog has impressed you most so far? I think Ivory Coast have been... I expected Japan to be good because they're always well organised and they always... Technically, they're very good. So, I said Japan in the last World Cup, but Ivory Coast, I think in general, the African teams have done very well. Colombia are better than Morocco and the USA, says Juan. Does my wife stay up for these games as well? God, no. No. Steve Bruce's son is about to manage Rotherham, says Alfie. And where do you rank Michael Jordan on the list of greatest athletes ever? I mean, I'm not massively into basketball, Gorzilla, but I love The Last Dance. And you know, he's an amazing sportsman. That don't impress me much. But where I'd rank him on the greatest athletes ever, I'm very football centric. Trishan, yes, Varela did play for Man United. Corner, Spain. And Uruguay had it away. I'll guarantee you it's just turned on bad teacher. Yeah, I knew they'd have it on that. Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia is 0-0 at the moment after 15 minutes as well. I mean, that could go either way, you know. That's a real free hit, that is. Saudi Arabia win, they go through. Cape Verde win, they go through. So it's going to be interesting. Llorente looks like Steffi Graf, says Barzo. Edge of the box, Spain, cleared away by Uruguay. Trevor Lemp says, what do you think about Argentina versus Jordan with Messi out? I don't know whether that's been confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised. They're already through, aren't they, as top of the group? Messi starts on the bench against Jordan. Understand that Argentina have already qualified for the next round, so Fabrizio Romano broke it. Messi will be on the bench for Argentina versus Jordan. You know what, though? There's two sides to the story, isn't there? Because in relation to the Golden Boot race, that's great for Erling Haaland because he didn't start today and didn't play at all today. Apparently Man City are going after Buadi now. Fucking hell. It's just not funny anymore. Yeah, so the Golden Boot race will be interesting because, I mean, even Harry Kane could catch up. Even Ronaldo could catch up now. Yeah. Why is he so quiet? Because I don't talk every second, mate. And I was reading something. Yeah, that's proper ambition from City to go and get Boadi as well as Elliot Anderson. The fucking hell. I've got to be honest. I don't like Man City, but I think they're becoming very watchable, aren't they? Corner in by Spain, cleared away. I'll tell you what, this first 20 minutes, we're about to approach the hydration break. I'm struggling to see... I'm struggling to see how Uruguay are actually going to win this game. So Valentine says, I love the Uruguay kit. It's all Spain again. Here's Yamal, lovely play, cuts it back. Plenty of Uruguayan players there, and they clear it away. It's funny because Bielsa ball isn't really part of the bus, is it? But yeah, if Spain lose, they face Argentina. Cucurella gets knocked to the floor. Don't think the referee's going to give a shit about that. Why does Uruguay have 4 stars? I thought they only had 2 World Cups. Yeah, they've not won it 4 times, don't know. Two Olympic golds in the 20s. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Okay, now, I mean, look, history is history. I'm sure survivors of the Titanic remember those 2 Olympics. Okay, now, it's bad enough having a star from '66, but putting 4 stars on because you won the Olympics in the 1920s. I mean, come on. And who cares about the Olympics either? But you shouldn't even have a star for the Olympics. I couldn't tell you who won the last Olympics. You know why? Don't tell me. Genuinely, don't tell me who won the last Olympics at football. Do you want to know why? Because I don't give a shit. I actually don't care if you win the Olympics football. To me, I don't watch it, and I love football. Game Zoomer says, my goat is live, let's go. I love the fact that you've only just found out that we're live, but, you know, good stuff. Tell says it's woke nonsense. Thanks for the follow, Archie. Cross comes in from Spain. They've got keeper's done well to get there. They had a man over on the back post. He was completely unmarked. Ebic says, Uruguay has 2 FIFA World Cup titles, but 4 stars because FIFA allows them to commemorate 2 Olympic football championships that predate the World Cup. Well, can England have an extra star because I won World Cup Wembley at lunchtime in 1994 as England? Can we claim that? Hydration break. Yeah, you don't get this on ITV. Imagine, yeah. But I say what they think. Yeah, they should remove 2 stars. I mean, Spain's only got 1 star. And they won the World Cup in 2010. Look at that stadium with the grass. Look at that. It's like it reminds me of the Teletubbies. Tinky Winky, Dipsy. Hey Key, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. G Stouty and Cameron, thanks for the follow, and Shazad as well. Is Lion King your favourite Disney movie? This is Constantine. I'm only going to do this very quickly. Because Lion King is not my favourite Disney movie. I'd say that my favourite Disney movie is probably... I don't know. It's not really my thing. Growing up, I used to quite like the introduction. It's nostalgic, but nah, I wouldn't say Disney's really... I wouldn't say Disney... I'm trying to think. I mean, I like Mary Poppins. Oh, I'll tell you what I do like, Inside Out. That's good. I've watched that. Yeah. And I like Under the Sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Understand? Under the Sea. Sorry, I nearly lost my way there. Pinocchio's quite good as well. Actually, I do. Lady and the Tramp. Oh, I love Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, I love Lady and the Tramp. Yeah. I do quite like a lot of Disney. My daughters loved Frozen when they were growing up, so I watched that a lot as well. To be fair, Disney do quite a lot of good stuff, don't they? Anyway, less of Disney and more of Uruguay versus Spain. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs quite good, yeah. Lion King is good. You know what the problem is? It's when they do sequels. But a lot of people like The Lion King. Princess and the Frog's quite good. I remember watching that. Was Toy Story, yeah. You know what? I've only ever watched Toy Story. I've never watched any other. What about Tarzan? No. Animated or not, never been a fan. Look at the amount of people who've left their seat in the hydration break. Oh, this is the problem, FIFA. Fans are now getting up in the hydration break. Is it? Oh, actually, I think it's people in the Spanish. Oh, no, there is a lot of seats. I thought the seats are red. It could have been people who are Spanish, in Spanish kits. Under the Sea is going to be in my head now. Do you fancy England over Brazil in the quarters? Let's get to the quarters first, Brandon. Oh, we're in. Go on, then. Oh, who did the stupid flick? Uruguay had a great chance. Valverde put the cross in, and somebody did a stupid flick. Actually, I think it was Darwin Núñez. What a surprise. Mate, you can't finish a bloody tap in. Don't start trying to flick it in. It's like trying to go for a fancy position when you haven't mastered missionary. I've never seen Cars. I think I'd probably like it. Louis with the super chat says, I went to see Toy Story today. It was incredible. Toy Story 5. You see, I can't go to that because I haven't seen 2, 3, 4. Ecuador won't be straightforward. We're not playing Ecuador at the moment, though. We're playing, as it stands, I think we're playing Senegal. No, yeah, England are playing Senegal at the moment. I don't know why it's changed. I'm yet to... 3 people in the chat are saying, what's missionary? Okay. If you don't know, that's all we need to know. I am yet to meet anybody who can explain to me how the third place thing works, because yesterday it was Ecuador and now it's Senegal, and apparently tomorrow it could be Congo. Darwin Núñez down the right hand side puts a cross in. Bit better from Uruguay since the hydration break. Yet again, hydration break changing the rhythm of the game. To be fair, I always liked Darwin Núñez. Still 0-0 between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Katie Talks Rovers says, this is why I respect Mark. He's got balls and will say what he thinks about anything. P.S. Are you still showing Bundesliga next season? I'm hoping we will be, Katie. In some way, shape or form, I'm hoping we will be, yeah. Not confirmed yet, but hope so. How do you feel about Tottenham trying harder to sign our targets than our owners? It's annoying, says Wan. Well, they haven't got there yet. I heard that Arsenal are going to bid again for Bruno Guimaraes. Nick P says, if this stadium was in England, they would shut it down for health and safety. People would be holding cheese rolling competitions down the grass. JB says, what's your best and worst new rule brought in this World Cup? Well, people can get in the comments with that. Personally, the best rule is the throw-in limit. of 5 seconds, closely followed by not giving fouls for stupid soft fouls. Worst one has got to be the hydration break. Yeah. Ryan says, do you think Spain have been getting a bit boring? I've always found... Oh my God, there's a Mexican wave. Somebody needs to tell these fans a Mexican wave in football is an admission of boredom. Marble says, I can't remember a worse technical midfielder than Agate. Start, bench, sell. There we go. T-Potion always comes up with these one. I'm going to come up with... No, I can't do it. I might do it. Sorry, I better do it. Start, bench, sell. Morgan Freeman, Piers Morgan, or Captain Morgan. I would say start Morgan Freeman, bench Captain Morgan because I like the rum, and sell Piers Morgan. Who's with me? Oh, the one I wasn't going to do was I'm trying to remember what the third one was. It was a bit. It was football niche. It was down the pub, and it was Henry Winter, the journalist. So Henry Winter, Lenny Henry, the comedian. Well, so-called comedian, or Henry VIII. Start, bench, sell. Henry Winter, the journalist. Lenny Henry, the comedian. And Henry VIII, start, bench, sell. And I did sell Henry Winter because journalism sort of fell apart. He's a good journalist. Bench Lenny Henry and start Henry VIII. And people were like, that's disgusting because he was he chopped his wife's heads off, didn't he? And I went, well, yeah, he was a bit of a shit, but as I've said before, but he, I don't know, there's just something about him. He's got that X factor, you know, like Thierry Henry. I mean, I'm not comparing Thierry Henry to Henry VIII. I mean, of course, God no, but. He's also a king, as Patsy says. You've got to start with him. He's got aura, yeah. Actually, yeah. Start, bench, sell. Carling, Foster's, Carlsberg, Rudolph the Red. I think a lot of people would sell them all. I think when it comes to... Once you've tasted Hawkstone or Camden Hells, you'd probably sell all of them. But I've got a history with Carling. I'd probably start Carling, bench Carlsberg, and sell Foster's. I used to drink Foster's in my local years ago when I was like 17, but you don't really get it in many pubs now. FC 25 Daily has taken this start, bench, sell as a hint, as a green flag to take it to United and do boring ones like Lindelof, Blind, and Phil Jones. I mean, mate, it's meant to be a bit of fun. I don't want to go back through crap historic United players and do start, bench, sell. What player has impressed you the most from club to representing England? What player has impressed you the most from club to representing England? Don't know what that means. It is 1:35 in the morning. Don't make me use thinking power. Denise says, is it me or does the Uruguay kit look like a summer version of a Christmas jumper. Loving the World Cup watch-alongs with you. Been great. Haven't seen a close-up of this Uruguay kit yet. A draw sort of benefits both. Spain would stay top of the group, no one can go past them, and Uruguay should go through no matter what, because they'd be on 3 points with a goal difference of 0. But there's still jeopardy there. There's still teams that could push them out. Algeria could definitely push them out. Belgium can not push them out. Ooh, good shot from distance there from Uruguay. Bentanca, who I can't pronounce his name. Yeah, it is a nice kit, to be fair. Yeah, it just didn't dip enough. I tell you what. Spain will probably go and score in a minute, but Uruguay could get something out of this game, i.e. a win. Narky says, you missed my super chats. Oh, I can't stand people who say this, especially on That's Football. I don't miss super chats on That's Football, Narky. I just haven't read it yet. Apparently the Thunder's quite bad tonight. Dark horse for the World Cup. I don't really know. I mean, I don't think you can start picking your dark horse after 3 group games anyway. So I'd have to stick with Japan, which is what I said before the tournament. A True Gent says, have you sent Angry Ginge some love? Boy, what's happened to him? He's out. He's out in New York, isn't he? Start, bench, sell, Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Reese, I'm not doing these. Sorry. You've not got the grasp of start, bench, sell in the World Cup. It's meant to be a bit of a laugh. I'm not doing serious ones. Sorry. Lenny Henry, Henry Winter, King Henry VIII. That sort of stuff. Not Messi, Ronaldo or Maradona. I'm not doing that. Where do you rank Pirlo among midfielders, says Marco. One minute. Sorry about that. Don't normally do that. Just realised I'd left the dog out, and I could hear the barks, and it is 20 to 2 in the morning, so probably not going to be that popular with everybody. Oh, I've missed a foul here on a Yazabel. Caught him a little bit late, Agate. Don't think there was anything more sinister than a free kick, to be honest. Favourite whiskey, mine at the moment is, I don't know what that is, Narky, so I'm not going to say it in case it's something I shouldn't say. I haven't drank whiskey in ages. I've got a bottle of Monkey Shoulder up there, which is on my shelf when I stand up, but Any desire to visit visit the South in the States? Think you'd love it, says PMB. I've got a lot of desire to visit a lot of places. It's just whether I'm going to have time. Thanks for the follows on TikTok, Tyler and Whackin. Really appreciate you. So we're still 0-0 in both games here. Imagine if we got a double 0-0 at 2 AM. I'm just looking at the remaining fixtures. Egypt, Iran, New Zealand, Belgium at 4 AM. Good luck if you're staying up for that. England's group, obviously, would be very interested in that. And then it's Colombia, Portugal, Congo, Uzbekistan. Yeah, you know what? If Uruguay draw, they will be in the top 8. But there's 3 other countries that could come into the top 8 and push them out. So a draw might not be enough for Uruguay. Scotland are on track to be like terrible in the 3rd place thing. She says, I can see Uruguay winning this. Spain haven't been particularly good so far. Thanks everyone who's subscribed on YouTube, by the way. We're on the road to 490,000, so please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. A few tasty tackles going in. Uruguay always. Oh, it's in. Keeper's absolutely fucked up there. And that's going to open this game up hugely. What the hell is the keeper doing? In it goes. Alex B. Boehner, isn't it, who scored? It's such a soft goal. It's such a soft goal when you look at it back. He takes it well, but the keeper should deal with this. He runs across from... Yeah, he runs across from... Nah, keeper's got to save that. It's awful goalkeeping, that. Yes, it goes through the... Nah, you can't blame anybody else other than yourself there. I know he's pointing at a deflection, but no, he's been done by the bounce. Is there something in the bounce as it goes through? Oh no, we're not going to see from there. Yeah, Spain leading 1-0. Big goal. But howler from the keeper. Everyone in the chat saying it. You don't want it at this time. Thanks for the follow, Andy. Well, look, from a neutral perspective, and maybe not everyone is a neutral, we just want to see a good game of football tonight. Uruguay are going home. They've got to open up now. The bobble took the keeper out. Why are you so shiny, Mark? I am a bit shiny. I think it's the weather, mate. It's just, you know, the weather is... I can't do anything about it. I believe Joe Hart now. Oh, is this about the ball, like? Rob Green-like blunder, says Andre. He got 2 hands on it. He should still have saved it. Anana vibes, says Wan. Matt says, I wrote a week ago, I want an apology to Australia. You said you didn't write us off, but you predicted us 4th finish in our group. We finished 2nd. Mate, I ain't got nothing against Australia. So, oh, God, we've got an injury here. On a stretcher. Agate. We're never selling him now. He must be a Man United fan, that guy in a Uruguay shirt. Well, as a United fan, that could be bad news because we won't be selling him and we won't be loaning him. So we probably won't be buying 3 midfielders now. Liam Gallagher says Man United should sign Camavinga, and will Newcastle do okay? I think Newcastle are a watching brief at the moment, mate. Plough says it didn't look serious, mate. It's a huge game for Uruguay where they need him, and he's gone off on a stretcher. I'd say it's probably not good news. Mora, could you imagine him at United, says Dr. Master. Yeah, he's the next big thing, isn't he? Platman Spaceman, love as always to you and the community. Start, bench, sell, polar bears, silverback gorillas, Siberian tigers. Well, obviously I'm going to sell polar bears. Put the tigers on the bench and start the gorillas. Keep metal alive, says start, bench, sell, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. I mean, that's quite a serious one. Pesci gets sold. I think I'd probably bench De Niro and start Pacino, but it's tough. Buffalo Trace is a whiskey. It's in Waitrose for £19. Have a good one. Thanks, Narky. There we go. Cape Verde are going to get second with 3 points. Well, it's still 0-0 there as well. They're approaching half-time. Uruguay have had a horrific couple of minutes. A keeping error to make it 1-0 to Spain. And then they've lost Agate on a stretcher. And as it stands, they're down to third on 2 points, which won't be enough. You won't go through with 2. Start, bench, sell, says Luke Jones. The cold side of the pillow. Taking your shoes and socks off after a long day. That first beer at the start of an afternoon. You've stolen that, Luke. I did that the other day. But I didn't do it as a start, bench, sell. First beer at the start of an afternoon drink session. I'll sell that. To be honest, I've never really felt great about that. I mean, it's nice, but not as good as taking your shoes off after a long day. If they're tight shoes as well, I'll bench that and I'll start cold side of the pillow, especially in recent events of hot weather. True Gent says, if you could relegate any Premier League team, who would it be? Man City, I think. Start, bench, sell, sandwiches and sandwiches. Sandwiches and sandwiches. Oh, God. Are you going to watch Egypt versus Iran? At 4 a.m? No. Somebody says that means that we might sign a midfielder. Yeah, I'm not doing any more start bench sales. There's just too many coming in, and you know what started off as fun has become ridiculous. So if you've put any more in, I might try and come back to them at some point. But there is a game of football to watch. Spain are on the attack here. Seamus says, not looking good for another midfielder. Can't see us selling Agate. Yeah, well, the reason I said it's not good for Manchester United is the fact that we need to buy 3 midfielders anyway, but buying one of those midfielders is dependent on Agate going, which is why him being in the shop window in the World Cup was seen as a good idea. He's injured. So, why have we had 8 minutes added on? Looks like it's a knee injury. I was just reading about Agate there. Is this West Ham guy going to United or Spurs? Don't know. What's this talk about the ball and keeper struggling with it? Cal the Dragon is the only keeper whose opinion matters, and he hasn't said anything. Thanks, T-Potion. Well, Cal the Dragon won't be saying anything because hasn't he retired from being a goalkeeper now? Look, whatever happens, we should be in for a very good second half because Uruguay are losing and their World Cup is over if they don't come back. Keep Metal Alive says, hopefully United will buy 3 midfielders, but knowing how these owners operate, they will buy 2 and bring up someone from the academy and present him as the next big thing. You know, if you know, you know. AMC says, fun fact, did you know gorillas, relative to body size, have the smallest you-know-what out of any other animals? I wouldn't know because don't go looking. Liam Gallagher's a Newcastle fan. He says, I wouldn't blame Bruno Gomes for leaving Newcastle. He's too good. And David Williams says, Man United can't sell Agate if he's injured badly. Fraser said it looked like a broken leg. We've spoken about Garnacho's new haircut. Yeah. I think he looks a bit of a prat, but Uruguay on the attack. Oh, good cross. And Darwin Nunez, as I say, he's a chance magnet, but he can't get on the end of it. Why do Brits get mad at the word soccer when the word was invented there? Association football to association soccer, says Viraj. I don't know. I don't know why people get offended by it. Is there any video games you're looking forward to, says Jack? Come on. As I said, I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 the other day just because I fancied going for a drive. Sometimes I'll just load it up and just go for a drive. So I'm very excited about Grand Theft Auto 6. Alo says, Agate is hurt. Is that good or bad news? I mean, it might not necessarily be bad news. It might not be a bad injury. And if it is a bad injury, Man United might need to replace him because he won't be there as a 4th option. So you can read it like that. But I also think that United won't bring a midfielder in if they know that they've still got Agate to come back. If it's a bad injury, board may be forced to buy 3, says Zane. Yeah, but we don't like doing that. Green and gold until it's sold. Linios out, says Mark Hughes. Thank you very much, sir. Right, let's stop the clock there. I'm just going to have a quick stretch. If you're on YouTube, by the way, please do subscribe. We are on the road to 1.5 million. That's not me doing a thumbs up. I'm just literally saying 1.5 million. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm struggling with my back at the moment. There we go. I'll talk about our schedule in a moment. If it's a bad injury, but done that from Zane. Thank you. Thanks for the follow, Laritz and Ibrima on TikTok. Thank you so much. And yeah, England tomorrow night at 10. Before I do that, that's how the group looks at the moment. Cape Verde drawing with Saudi, go above Uruguay, and Uruguay would be in 3rd place with 2 points, which won't be enough for them to stay in the World Cup. Uruguay minimum need a draw against Spain or they're going home. That's how simple it is in the second half. So we should get an open game. But you'd be pissed off if you're Uruguay. They were doing okay, and then the keeper makes a mistake. And, you know, Joe Hart can talk about the ball, but as a goalkeeper, he's got to save that. He's got to save that. Gummy says, after a night of hot drinking, hot curry, pie and mash, or fish and chips. I wouldn't have a pie and mash. I think it would have to be curry or fish and chips. Yeah. My favourite food after a night on the drink was always go to the chip shop, chips, chicken kebab meat, and then ketchup and mayonnaise like that. And I'd always say to the guy, do it exactly like this, you know, diagonals like that. And a can of Vimto, please. And then I'd just sit there and eat it. And preferably on my own, because I'd be a bit worse to the wear. I didn't want any conversation, basically. I just wanted to sit there and eat the food. Mark obeys the law when he plays GTA 5. Thank you very much. Is the Chumini deal still on? Because on the last show you kept saying United get a cheaper third midfielder. I'm praying that's not the case, says M3G4. I'm hoping that we get Mateus Fernandes and Chumini to go with Ederson. That's always been my hope. But, you know, some of the updates this week haven't been the best. Oh, God. Gosh, really itchy nose now. Would you take the ability to fly, but you could only fly 3 feet off the ground and had to do the Superman pose? You'd look like a right idiot, the snail. Do you have a soft spot for Italy because of ancestry? I don't have any Italian ancestry. Do you think Liverpool will buy players because it's always Arsenal and Man City doing business, as Dean? Well, Liverpool will buy players, yes. Definitely. Man United are starting pre-season with just 2 centre midfielders now, says Raphael. Let me talk to you about the schedule for the next few days, just so you know what we're up to here. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube, and give us a follow if you're on TikTok. So there is 4 o'clock in the morning games tonight. Egypt play Iran and New Zealand play Belgium. I think contextually Belgium and Egypt will probably get top 2 there, but I'm not watching that. No way. I'm not staying up till 4 a.m. I don't think I could. 10 o'clock tonight, Croatia, Ghana, Panama, England. England hopefully win and solidify their place as the top team in Group L. Oh, God, excuse me. It's starting to hit now. And then, after that, we are doing Colombia, Portugal. If Colombia beat or draw with Portugal, they will hold on to top spot, which puts Portugal into second place. Congo, Uzbekistan. I really should look at these groups. Let me have a quick look. So, Belgium are 3rd in their group at the moment. They're playing New Zealand. If they win, they can go, they'll qualify. Egypt play Iran. If they beat Iran, then they're fine. The Portugal group is Colombia have 6, Portugal have 4. So if they both draw, Colombia go through as top and Portugal go in as second. If Portugal win, they go through top and Colombia will be second. So I'm sure Portugal will be looking to win that game because they'll want to finish top. I think it puts them on a better side of the draw. Well, it should do if you finish top. And then Group J, which is tomorrow night, is the last group game. Argentina have 6, Austria have 3, Algeria have 3, and Jordan have 0. Argentina are going to play their reserves, and Messi's not going to play because Jordan have already been Jordan are already out, and Argentina are already top. So Austria and Algeria may play out. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't watch those 3 a.m. games. I wouldn't bother. I think it'd be a waste of time, to be honest. Because Argentina are going to put out their reserves. Jordan are already going home. And I have a feeling Austria and Algeria might just play out a draw so that they both go through. We shall see, but I think that's what'll happen. Yeah, I'm just getting rid of some people at the moment. I don't normally tell them that I'm doing it, but yeah. Real Slim, I'm on it, don't worry. Thanks for the follows on TikTok, by the way. Appreciate you. Why is Nico Williams not starting? Sufi, thanks for the follow. I don't really know why Nico Williams doesn't start much for Spain anymore. I mean, look, in fairness, the player that's playing in his place scored, didn't he, Bainer? But I think he's had a bit of a drop-off, hasn't he? I mean, they've got some good players on their bench. Ferran Torres, Nico Williams, Zubimendi, Fabian Ruiz, David Raya. I like Nico Williams. I like the way he. I like the way he's direct and fast. I think it's, you know, he's not fully fit apparently. Yeah. Are you a fusion of DiCaprio and Beckham? I wish I bloody was, mate. Elise is better than Yamal. Also, thoughts on the Caldragon retirements as Charlie. Heartbreaking day for modern goalkeepers. Yeah, I heard that Courtois and Neuer were inconsolable. They wouldn't talk to anyone for a couple of days. Mark, before the season starts, can you do a green and gold day on United Stand? Everyone donates £1, money goes to charity. Glinios out, or won't it work, says Mark. I don't think we'll raise much for charity, mate. I just don't think it's the sort of thing where people would contribute, to be honest. Sadly. Thoughts on Kabasi, says Rex. Good player. How are you? Hey, Mark, how are you? What did you think of Elliot Anderson signing with Man City? It's a huge loss for Forest. Good defender, says Todd. I think it's a good signing. Yeah. True Gent says, with your real name, you must have ancestry. Yeah, I do, but I took the name. It's not through ancestry. Argentina versus Portugal quarterfinal will be cinema. That is only going to happen if Portugal finish top of their group. Otherwise, it would be Colombia, Argentina that's possible. So Portugal will go to the different side of the group if they don't finish top. If they do finish top, Argentina, Portugal quarterfinal is possible. England, Brazil quarterfinal is possible as well. Bobby says, are you tired, Mark? Not so much that I'm worried about the next hour. I mean, I'm looking forward to going to bed, but no, I'm all right. I have my tactic. As long as you have a coffee in the hour before the game starts, that'll get you through. Thoughts on the referee today? Jack says the referee's been dodgy. I'll be honest, the only referee that I've really noticed bad was the England game. And not just for us. I mean, just the fact that Ghana didn't get a penalty as well. David's going to start going to the gym. What do you think? I'm not a big fan of the gym, but as you can tell, but I you know, I think I'd find the gym irritating, to be honest. Not because of the equipment, because of the people in it. It sounds like it doesn't sound like my kind of thing. Are you starting yeah, I've done that one, thank you. What's your thoughts? Liam says, what's your thoughts on Mateus Fernandes going to Spurs? Well, he's not going to Spurs, is he? I mean, he might sign for them, but he's not going to Spurs. I didn't even see what happened to Ugarte. I mean, what do you think about Scotland going out? Very little I actually quite liked the idea of them staying in the tournament. I think their fans have always bring something to it. I remember 98, the same thing happened in France. I would have liked them to stay in, but they're not. Look, I think obviously the Scots would love England to go out because they don't like us, but I always used to say this when I lived in Ireland. Like, a lot of people in Ireland don't like the English, and I understand why, but it's not reciprocated. It's not. I used to say, like, look, nobody really in England is thinking we hate the Irish, and no, I don't think there's anybody really in England thinking we hate the Scottish. I know why the Scots hate English, and I know why the Irish hate the English. I get it, but it's not reciprocal. Like, I'm not there going, oh, I'm so glad Scotland are out. I wanted them to stay in, but you know, they are where they deserve to be. They didn't do enough, did they? They weren't. I think the sad thing for Scottish fans is that I don't think Scotland needed to play like that. I think they could have been a little bit more adventurous and given them something to write home about. But you know, their fans were very entertaining, but their team wasn't. They were really, really poor, really. Pete says, if you hear the name Mark in public, do you instinctively turn your head? Yes. Oh, I forgot. New York at night. ITV. What's the Nations Championship? What's that? Don't know. Could be snooker. Start bench sell. Yeah, not doing that, Taylor. Sorry. Thank you very much. Why are you on 0 alcoholic beers? Everything okay? What? I knew this. I said this to the wife when I finished. This is not going to go down well. I had to go out at 10 o'clock and do something. I had to drive, so do not drink and drive, and nobody else should. So, and I actually like the taste of lager. And somebody said to me, try Heineken Zero. There's another one that's really good. Can't remember the name of it, but I quite liked it. It was nice. Do you ever think of Keith Silvertunnel as name? Says True Gents. No. Trav says, what's the most suspiciously confident opinion you've had about something you know absolutely nothing about? Oh, mate, it's 2:10 in the morning. That's too much thinking power. I don't know. Hi, Mark. When does the overlap changeover happen? It's already happened, bless. I think what you're asking is when will you start to see changes? I would say gradually. Second half's just kicking off. I would say there'll be gradual changes from next month. Yeah. Very exciting. Very exciting. Lots of stuff going on in the background. It's almost like our own transfer window, really. Thanks for the follow, Tyler. We've got over 6,000 people watching this at 2:10 in the morning, which is incredible, really. Like, Uruguay have got to go for this now. It's a shame they can't bring on Cavani and Forlan and Suarez. Corner. I think he's going to book someone here, isn't he? That wasn't a foul, that was a dive. Oh, he booked Boehner, the goal scorer. I mean, I don't think it was even a foul. The US have put on a solid World Cup so far, says Matt. Makes us appreciate the time zones clubs have to work with. Also, what would Mark's ideal hydration break be? I mean, I've only got 3 minutes. good cross, but well defended by Spain. They have defended well. Ugarte, Newfield Jones will never leave, says Marble. Ali says, start bench sell Italian 90 version. Red and white mini Coca-Cola ball, I remember that. Silver coins your dad got for tokens at the petrol station, I remember that. Or the highly flammable England shell suit. I remember all of those. Nostalgia. Offside there. Uruguay starting as hopefully they mean to go on. Yeah, them red and white Coca-Cola balls were great. I think I didn't have one, but my cousins did. Silver coins, I remember those that you could collect. And I did have the England shell suit. Shell suits were an incredible invention. They were like these track suits that everybody had. They had like a cotton lining, but a shell material on the top. And everybody had them. Like, footballers used to wear them. Gaza brought his own. It was called the Gaza Rip brand. They were brilliant until somebody realised that if you put a match up against them, they went up in like no time. And they don't exist anymore. Rex says, my friend John just ignored. Can you restart the watch along and the match? Don't bring the hydration break to the Prem, says Michael on TikTok. Well, hopefully we won't do. Thanks for the follow, Richard. Come on, Uruguay. Make a game of it. Otherwise, you're going home. It's that simple. England kicks off at 10 p.m. tomorrow. I think, look, let's not get too presumptuous, but it's 10 p.m. tomorrow, which we'll definitely play. Then it's Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and then if we win that, it's early hours of Monday morning at 1 a.m. Which would be very interesting. I remember us playing Italy in the 2014 World Cup, and I think that was a 1 a.m. kickoff. But it'll be fun. It'll be strange that, because like I think, lovely ball down the right hand side for Uruguay. It took too long to put the cross in. It'll be strange that, because so many people jump on the bandwagon of the World Cup. It'll be interesting to see how many of them are on the bandwagon enough to watch England at 1 a.m. I think what Spain need to do here is just look to hit Uruguay on the break. Blessing says, do your mates call you Mark? Is it weird having two names? It's not really weird, no. But people, I don't really care, is the honest answer. Start, not about your chat. I mean, I just don't really care which name they call me. Start, bench, sell. Xavi, Iniesta, Belabor, says MG. I'm not doing this. Promise the changes won't. Okay, I'm not reading that either. Nice one. Thanks for the follow. And do you think Messi will be at the next World Cup? I mean, he could be. I don't know what, we don't really, I never really hear what Messi's aspirations are. I mean, look, the next World Cup's in Portugal. Ronaldo could be there. Peter says, I think Spain have been a bit underwhelming. I suppose they don't have to be on the front foot here. They can just pick them off on the break. USA, where do you see us finishing? Also, just to let you know, Anthony Gordon doesn't get into our B team at left wing over Timothy Weah. Take it up with Barcelona, Vertigo. Thoughts on Oscar Bob, Tyler? I I'd start him in Norway's team. I've always said I'd have Bob on the right, Noosa on the left, and Haaland up front. I don't know why Sorloth plays off the wing. Pedri here. Ooh. That will hurt. Right the way down his ankle. Maybe he should have had a yellow card, but you can't retrospectively go back. I like this Canobia, the number 14 for Uruguay. Plays for Fluminense. Lots and lots of energy. Might get himself sent off in a minute, but he's definitely the most energetic player in a Uruguay shirt. Paul Lucas says at some point Uruguay need to give up pragmatic play and throw the sink at Spain. Shay says you ignored the keeper getting sent off. Have they subbed the keeper off? Sorry, didn't ignore it. Wasn't aware of it. Yes, they did. Roche's on. Ferrero Rocher. No, that's not his first name. Sergio Rocher of Internacional has come on. And Muziera, who has 136 caps, has been subbed off. 136 caps. And ceremoniously subbed off at half time here. He made a big mistake. Just in time, thank you very much for your follow. And Dean and Jake on TikTok. Think Spain need to produce more from the back, says Deb. Mark, your Michael Carrick Qatar have took over. You've got 450 million to spend. You've got to sign 3 midfielders and a goalkeeper and a striker and a left back, or 2. Who would you sign? Thank you, Mark. I really do feel like running Manchester United with a 450 million pound budget and signing 6 players, hypothetically, at 19 minutes past 2. Just have a little bit of consideration what you're asking me. I can try and answer interesting stuff, but I can't write an essay. My brain's just not going to work like that at this time. That don't impress me much. Uruguay player down injured again. City Walks, Warren, Icon, thanks for your follows. To be fair, he pulled out. Yeah, well, first 10 minutes of this half, Uruguay having a go, but I do think, look, I don't think Spain are, I do agree with what people were saying in the first half. I don't think Spain have been particularly easy on the eye. Maybe they're going to be a late grower into this tournament, but Valverde coming off and Vinas coming on, I mean, that's a surprise. That's a surprise. Why would you take off your captain? Maybe he's carrying an injury. I don't know. Robert says, Bielsa's one of the most overrated coaches ever. I liked his brand of football. Doesn't mean... I don't think his brand of football wins all the time. But I don't know why Valverde's gone off there. Real Madrid, Valverde. captain of Real Madrid, Valverde, in a game where they're heading out of the World Cup. So he subbed the keeper off, who's got 136 caps, and the captain. Feels like there might be some issues in the Uruguay camp. T-Potion says, start, bench, sell, birthday card, credit card, Ricky's card. There is a lot of players going down at the moment. Could be a long half. I don't think there was much in that. He's just running past the player. Where's this referee from? Ismail Al-Fat. He is a Moroccan-born American soccer referee. He's been a referee in the MLS since 2012. So he's an MLS referee. Well, I don't think that was a yellow card. I don't think it was even a foul. I mean, in fairness, Valverde might be carrying a knock because he didn't look that surprised when he was taken off. You know, if you think about, are Spain playing the game here a little bit? Can we get a Jim Skin where hay marks? As Richard, I know who he is, but I don't know enough of his moves to do it. I don't watch his stuff, so I don't know what one is, Richard. I'm not down with you lot on that. Nazza says, what are the chances of South Africa progressing? Well, I think they've got a decent chance against Canada. I mean, Canada as the hosts will be favourites, but you know, they've got a shout. That's Sunday at 8 o'clock, isn't it? What's my opinion on the game? Says Al. Go on, Uruguay, bit of space. Cross. Oh, terrible touch. Terrible touch. I think it was Arahu. Yeah, well, that's my thought on the game. Again, not really lived up to what I thought it was going to be. Ultimately, Uruguay needed to get a result. But Spain have sort of managed the game quite well. But that goalkeeping error has cost them massively. You can't be giving away goals in a game like this. Which of the host nations have impressed you the most? Oh, it's got to be USA. Look, Mexico are well organised. They're not conceding many goals. And Canada have done fantastically well to get themselves through. But I think it's got to be USA, yeah. Empty Real says, does this mean we can't sell Agate now? We'll have to wait and see. I tell you what, this referee's losing control of this game. This is not what we've been used to. It's very stop-start. Just Pacey says, oh my God, just came in, heard Agate hurt. Man United need him. We need to sell him. Uruguay are abysmal, says Help. I think if Spain score again, it's over. Danny Olmo thinks he should have got a foul there. USA got beaten by bottom of the group, says Paul. Yeah, but they made a load of changes and they were always qualified. Kai says, I'm watching from Tobago. Sorry. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from and what time it is. What do you think about Spain? Well, here's Yamal with plenty of space. This could be it. Lays it off. Danny Olmo. Oh, he should have scored there. He should have scored. Yamal's done really well. Lays him off and the shot lacks conviction, if we're being honest. I think with Spain, as somebody said in the first half, they just lack that fluidity and excitement that they had in the Euros. They do defend well, and I think that's always going to help them, and they do have match winners, but if you compare them to France as an attacking sense, yeah, they're not looking great as an attacking side at the moment. Shane, thanks for the follow on TikTok. Shiv is watching from Sydney. It's 11:30 a.m. Well, Uruguay need a goal. At least one. Yeah, I agree with Hello. Spain have been lacklustre compared to the Euros. I think in the Euros they looked very good. But from what I've seen of them in the World Cup, they don't look it. Yeah, I don't think Valverde was happy about going off. He covered his shirt up and was saying something. Doesn't look like it was an injury. I think he's just supporting the team. But very strange. I mean, he would be their best player. Just Pacey says, shouldn't say it, but it could make Man United sign someone with Agarte's injury. Yeah, it could do, or it might make them go, we're not buying anybody when we can't sell Agarte because he's already at the club on good wages and we'll wait for him to come back. Muzzy says, is Nico Williams injured? Apparently he's carrying a hamstring injury, yes. And Nerd says, USA will likely meet Spain in the quarterfinals. USA would give them a decent fight. Excuse me. Referee's killing me here. Emil's just got up for work. Oh, mate. We'll be here till 5 o'clock in the morning with this ref. Spain with a substitution. Yeah, keeper's definitely got to save that. No messing about. Bainer, looks like he's coming off though. On a yellow card, got a goal, and now he's been subbed. Yeah, Bainer off, and Pino on. Plays for Villarreal, doesn't he? Jeremy Pino. No, he plays for Crystal Palace. Why did I think he played for Villarreal? Because he used to play for Villarreal. I like the new World Cup rules, says Montan. Keep the faster restarts and cut out the silly foul calls, but scrap the hydration breaks. I don't want those in the Prem. I mean, if the Premier League in implement the hydration break, we've got a massive problem because we just don't need it. And it would be about ads. Clip says, would you like to manage North Korea at a World Cup? Probably not. Jack says, I turned off the Spain game. The other game is so open and could take second spot. Way better game, says Jack. Thank you, pal. Hydration break already. Fucking hell. I looked at the clock a minute ago and we'd had 55 minutes. That did fly by. Pinot Grigio, says Michael. Michael, thanks very much for your follow. Whoa. I am deteriorating fast in this second half, and I don't think it's anything to do with the time. I think it's just been a bit of a crap game, really. Uruguay have got 20 minutes to stay in the World Cup, and I just don't think. I think Spain are just sitting back and waiting to counter. I don't really know what Uruguay are doing. Really don't understand it. But they've got 20 minutes here. He's trying to get Darwin Núñez to score. Is James injured then? Who's England's attacking fullbacks now, says Bonsai. They can use Kwanzaa there. They can use Chalobah there. And they can use Spence there. I think it will be Spence and O'Reilly as the fullbacks. What were you just doing, Mark? I was just moving my back about a bit. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in, by the way. Big push on YouTube. Please click and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're trying to get to 1.49 subscribers, and we are 200 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you, everybody. Camera cuts to Valverde. Doesn't look particularly happy. There are rumours of discontent in the Uruguay squad. Lovely stadium though, isn't it? And we're up and running again. Where are England playing tomorrow? New York, I think. Pretty sure we're in New York tomorrow. New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Rodriguez comes on for Uruguay. Sanabria goes off. Plays his football in Mexico for America. Brian Rodriguez. Again, he's a player I recognise. Has he ever played in Europe? No. I must be thinking of someone else. Cams and Nats23, thanks for the follow. Man of the match. I don't really know. I thought the... what's the name of the Uruguay guy? He's impressed me a bit. Canabria, number 14. Been very energetic. And at the end of the day, I think Spain have been quite disappointing. If it wasn't for a goalkeeping error, it would be 0-0. Uruguay on the attack. Final ball is bad, but they've got to find better final ball in this last 20 minutes. Bosnia, Egypt, Spain. I'm hopeful United States semis now. Is that your pathway? Fucking hell. I wouldn't even do that with England, mate, let alone USA. Fair play, though. Spain on the attack. Wide to Yamal is the ball. He's got it. Lovely feet. Cuts it back and not quite there for the tap in. They've still got it, though. Dani Olmo. I've got one step further with a membership, says Katie Talks Rovers. And Dan says start, bench, sell, Fall Guys, Five Guys, Family Guy. Never really watched Family Guy, so I'd have to sell it. I know it's very good, but I just never really watched it, never got into it. Fall Guys can go on the bench. Five Guys, in relation to the place where you get food, is good. Richard says, do you watch YouTube? If so, who? I do. I tend to watch YouTube at night on my telly, and I'll treat it like a TV channel, so I'll have a look at what gets recommended and stuff like that. So I don't have anything that I watch religiously. I don't mean like I don't watch stuff about Jesus and stuff. I mean like there's not something I have to watch every week. There's just stuff I like. Brewski, thanks for your follow. Danny Olmo gets the pass wrong that time. Yeah, I think if I didn't present That's Football or United Stand, I'd probably watch it, that sort of thing. I do occasionally take a look at football, but I wouldn't say there's anything out there that I watch all the time. I do watch the overlap. I do watch the overlap. I've watched the overlap even before what happened. I don't watch The Rest Is Football, but then again, I don't think many people do. Spain with a bit of possession here. 15 minutes to go. Remember, Uruguay need to score to stay. Well, even a draw might not be enough. Second place with no wins for Cape Verde is mad, says Bernardo. Yes. Let me just have a quick look at that game. Yeah, 0-0. 15 minutes to go. Saudi would be going out. Cape Verde would be into second place and playing Argentina, which would be a nice game for Argentina. Zayan says, how sleepy do you feel right now? I'm fighting it a little bit, I've got to be honest. I think it's the lack of excitement in this game, really. Spain have been very dull, and Uruguay have been very toothless. Constantine says, football players are in such great shape. Dan says, Mark watches his Goldbridge career mode every night. You know what, mate? I haven't done it for a while, but about 6 months ago, I did re-watch TUS career mode, because we uploaded a highlights thing every week, and I did quite enjoy it. Had a nice story to it. Stay up for the Egypt game, mate. I wouldn't stay up for the Egypt game. There's no way. Cape Verde have been dominating the game against the Saudis, says Scott. Excited to watch Bruno tomorrow. I'm excited to watch Colombia tomorrow. Williams is on now for Yazabel and Yamal. Yamal and Yazabel off. Fernando Torres and Nico Williams on. Hopefully they can have a little bit of a run here. Did you see any of Mora play versus Czech Republic? Looked very good for a 17-year-old. No, I didn't watch that game, Sports Report podcast, but I remember mentioning him in the South Africa game that he was on the bench, but he's believed to be the next big thing. I don't know where he's heading, Mora. Another stop here as another injury. It's Laporte down this time. Mark says, how would you describe Southgate to an alien? as a coach, not very complimentary. Come on, Uruguay. I mean, you're going out. Well, you've got to commit caution to the wind. Just clueless in the final third. Modular says, I apparently lived on a next street to you, Mark, as a kid. My claim to fame. Tell us the street. I'll tell you if it's true. Uruguay on the attack. He's got to put that cross in. Offside. Fucking hell. Dear, oh dear. You're going to struggle to win games if you're offside in a final third like that. Gone and got the guitar. Is it in tune? Is on that now. That's what's that? Maybe don't really want to know how you gone, Rose. Yeah, live forever. I can't sing. There's a Stone Roses song I used to know. That helped me stay awake a bit. It's actually not bad. I think it's actually in tune. Wake me up a bit. That served a purpose. That was very selfish of me. I was fading out there. I just needed something to stimulate my eyes a little bit. Free love on the free love highway. The grass is green and play Cup of Tea and Biscuits. No, that song's better off being a mystery because I did sing it once and it's shit. Big says, I feel like I've had a second win now. Big says, have you ever regretted going on a holiday like it wasn't a good value for money or you missed out on a big opportunity? No, I've had some crap holidays. We went to Italy when I was about 15 in school time, and I missed about 2 weeks of football to do it. We went by coach from Nottingham to Italy, which took about 2 days. We came back by coach, which took about 2 days. So 4 days of the bloody holiday was travelling, and then we got to Italy and it pissed it down with rain the whole week we were there. This Uruguay exit from the World Cup is the most tepid display of football I've seen. I mean, I expected them to lay siege to Spain, and it's almost like they think I mean, it's just Bielsa will be gone, let's put it that way. Bielsa will be gone. There's no way that they're going to accept not qualifying from a group with Cape Verde and Saudi and Spain in it. So I think Uruguay have been very disappointing. Spain, I think with Spain, we haven't really seen much about what Spain are all about yet. Going through top of the group, they will go into the top side of the draw where they'll probably play Austria. Then they'll play the winner of Portugal, Ghana, if that's how it stands. Sorry, no, Spain are in the top side of the group, yeah. So Spain look like they'll play Austria. Then they'll probably play Colombia, Portugal or Ghana. And then they will play probably United States in the quarterfinal. So Spain's pathway to the quarterfinals looks pretty reasonable. But you'd expect Spain to be hitting the semis anyway, wouldn't you? Did you ever get with a girl because of the guitar, says Godzilla? I'm not amazing at the guitar. I'm okay. I've never really took it from being okay to being decent. I just basically started doing it because I wanted to be able to play a few Oasis songs and sort of remember some of the chords, but not the whole songs. Okay, says, if you had to rename yourself, what would it be? But I wouldn't. But you've just said I had to. I never thought of that question. Never thought of the answer. Chop says, Spain look awful. Well, Uruguay deserve to be going home. Lots of energy, but if they don't score one, if they score and equalise, then they will probably have a chance of staying in. But if they lose, they're going home. They will be in third place, but third place with 2 points don't get you in. They're in third place at the moment, but they're in 11th place out of the third place teams. They're even below Scotland. Can Scotland get back in? They can. What for Scotland to get back in, they need Algeria to lose, which they probably won't do. Or Croatia to lose, which they probably won't do. Spain nearly won it. Well, they nearly finished it off. A one-on-one chance, and he's bloody missed it. Ferran Torres. Lovely little 1-2. Would have been a good goal, actually. Hit the Denver. Would have been a good goal, that. It was a good bit of play between Torres and whoever else it was. That would have been the game. I think it's going to be the game anyway. I don't think Uruguay have looked like getting back into this at all. This is what I mean. Don't get hyped about the games that look good on paper in this World Cup, because it doesn't always work out like that. Can you play Baby Shark? I'd never want to be able to. It's probably dead easy though. Manuel Ugarte injured. Can't side 3 midfielders, stuck with 2, says Tom. All right, you don't need to laugh about it, Tom. Boris says, I think Spain have been average in the tournament. Thanks for the follow, Henry. Boris says, France and Argentina have been the best 2 teams. Well, I think out of the big guns they have, but I think it's unfair on teams like Japan and the Netherlands who've been good. Netherlands have been very good. I mean, I think Netherlands-Morocco is going to be a cracking game on Monday. Japan-Brazil will be interesting as well. France look like the team to beat. I think they can be beaten, but do you think Netherlands will beat Morocco? I think that's a hard one. What's your go-to Indian order, says James? I mean, I'm not feeling particularly hungry at the moment. Apart from my pillow. That doesn't mean I want to be biting my pillow. I mean, I don't want any, connotations about that. Yeah, traditionally, an Indian order for me would be something like a butter chicken or a tikka masala, pita rice, garlic naan, mushroom bhaji, poppadoms with the dips to start, and if I'm having a starter, something like a chicken pakora. I'm not opposed to a sag paneer as well. There's quite a lot of Indian dishes I do like though. Got me thinking maybe I'll have an Indian tomorrow night before the England game as well. It's quite nice the game being on at 10 o'clock actually. Oh no, I really like mushrooms. Apparently mushrooms are quite good for you. I love mushrooms, I do. I often have like, if I'm working from home, I'll have mushrooms on toast with a bit of garlic for lunch if I can. Uruguay just aren't going to score. They're looking for a penalty though. They've got to surround the referee. They've got to surround the referee. I didn't see enough of it. Garlic mushrooms, lovely, yeah. Well, I hope this is not another Ghana moment, because if it's a penalty, they need to give it. It looks more like it looks more like not been given. It looked more like it was a foul on the Spanish player, if I'm being honest. Don't think it was a penalty. For me, I don't think it was. I know it keeps Uruguay in it, but I don't think it was. I'll run a poll. Was that a penalty? I've just realised that, I mean, for those people who... I used to work shifts. I used to work a night shift from 10 o'clock at night till 7 a.m. in the morning. And nothing prepares you for that when you first start doing them. It absolutely can be a killer in trying to keep your eyes open. And what I did there is a lesson in how you get through when you're tired. You've got to stand up or start doing something that takes your mind away from being tired. Because 15 minutes ago I was like, ugh. Now I've got up and played the guitar, I feel like I could do another half an hour. Sod it, let's do Egypt. No, I'm not doing it. Sod it, let's go clubbing. I think the world's changed. It's coming up for 3 a.m. There will be clubs. But I don't know whether there's all night clubs in Birmingham anymore. There used to be somewhere on the roundabout Q2 or something like that. Uruguay coming forward. They're not going to do this. This is such a disappointingly pitiful way to go out of a tournament. William, bit of pushing and shoving here. Look, Uruguay have shown some fight, but they've not shown any ability, and you know that is a bad foul as well. If I was Williams, I'd get up and have a go at him as well. He's absolutely chopped him there. Bielsa will be sacked very, very quickly, I would think. Do you enjoy Joe Rogan, and how do you feel about him? I've never watched any of his stuff. I've seen clips, but I've certainly not. No, I'm not. Maybe he's good, maybe he's not. I've never watched it. Next watch along is Mark's clubbing experience, says James. Yeah, we should do clubbing with Goldbridge. Yeah, that was a very, very clear yellow card. 73% saying not a penalty. Uruguay is their one last attack. Oh my God, he's gone. That is a red. That is a red. 100%. I think he's going to fight the referee here. We don't want to see anybody punching a referee in a World Cup game. I mean, that's the most red challenge I've ever seen. I think it was a red. I mean, it looked like it was a red to me. He's off the ground. You know, it doesn't look that bad. On a replay, it doesn't look that bad. I'm not, yeah. In real time, I can understand why the referee's giving it. When you watch it back, I thought he was two-footed. I think he's been Uruguay's best player, but I also think he plays right on the edge. Cape Verde are through. In second place, Cape Verde will play Argentina. Who would have predicted that? Refs are going to blow here. Look, I think it probably was a red card, mainly because of how he'd been playing throughout the last 20 minutes. He was being a bit reckless. I think if a different player had done it, he might not have got a red. Who do England play if we win tomorrow? Apparently we might be playing Congo. At the moment it's Senegal. That's the final whistle. Cape Verde go through. Uruguay go home. what they deserved, really. They didn't do enough, did they? Great news for Argentina. They'll avoid Spain. They'll avoid Uruguay, and they'll get Cape Verde. And Spain will end up probably playing Austria. I'll tell you what, if Spain play like that, though, Austria could have a chance. Don't know. Thought Ronaldo said Saudi would improve in this World Cup after their investment in players from Europe. Yeah, well, yeah. Saudi Arabia have had a terrible World Cup. Absolutely terrible. For all that money that they've invested. Yeah. Okay, it's 3 a.m. I'm going to get to bed. But thank you very much for being part of these World Cup community streams that we do in the early hours. I've really enjoyed it. Tomorrow, it's 10 o'clock tomorrow night, the first game. There isn't even an earlier game. It's 10 o'clock. It's England tomorrow night at 10 o'clock on this channel. And then straight after, it's Ronaldo, Colombia, midnight till 2:30. So 2 later games tomorrow. Was a bit of a boring game, Michael, but the chat's always good. So thank you very much. And I will speak to you tomorrow. Take care, stay safe, and thank you for watching. Big episode.